All right, welcome to the Writing Clinic. Today is Thursday. It is May 2nd, 2024, and we just finished a 10-minute brain dump. And now we are going to share some of the connections and how we relate to each other. The brain dump, just so that you're aware, for those of you that are watching this on the replay, those of you that are watching this inside the Facebook group or on the YouTube channel, a brain dump is where you sit quietly for 10 minutes and you dump out everything that has happened for the week, for the day, for the month, whatever you need to get rid of and let go. It's a release. So that means you're writing everything, just whatever comes to your mind, you're letting it flow, you're dumping it out. And after you dump, you should feel like you're 5 pounds lighter. You should feel like all that heavy emotion that got attached to you throughout the week should be gone if you did it the right way. Okay, so we've already done our 10-minute brain dump. We did a 5-minute connection dump. So now I'm going to go around and ask each person in the room to share what it is that they heard from someone else that made them feel like, oh yeah, I can connect to that. I know what that's all about. Okay, so we'll start with Michaela.
I can relate to, I believe it was Ty saying she feels hopeful. I wake up every morning hopeful. I take a long walk on my commute to the bus stop because I know there are people waiting just to talk to me. And I feel hopeful that they made it through another night to have that conversation with me in the morning. It's a long list, but I'll leave it at that.
Thank you for sharing that. Ty, what did you write? Or you can tell us how you feel about what Michaela just said.
Yeah, so I also feel hopeful. I had some things that went on this week, but I'm still hopeful that tomorrow is going to be better, it's going to get better, and I'm going to receive everything that I desire in the future.
Thank you for that. Awesome. Tiffany, how you feel?
I feel optimistic. It was Sarah who said she was optimistic. And I took that a step further and did some I will statements to stay in that optimistic space because I was released from my job. And while they think they won, they lost because I'm all that in a bag of chips and I'm going to do what I got to do. So my I will statements are I will excel in spite of the job loss, and I will flourish in a space that I enjoy and am equipped for.
Hearts up, heart celebration hats. Wow, emojis. I love it. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sarah. Look at what you sparked, Sarah, and inspired. This is awesome. I love doing this. And this is how you get rid of writer's block. A lot of people talk about writer's block, and this is how you get rid of it by doing your brain dump, sharing it with a friend, getting in the room with other creatives. You can't have a writer's block moment when you're in the room with folks like this. There's no way. We won't allow it. It's the norm to be positive, right? So yeah, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Tiffany. Kyoko.
So I am also going to say that I could relate to whoever said hopeful. I think ML said it too. And because I think it still acknowledges that, there were things, but it opens the door to a future of whatever may be. I wrote, it gives room for growth because every day is a new day and we get to start again. So I'm specifically hopeful that I'm going to be back to myself and get my energy back next week, because I've been feeling under the weather and I've been having lack of energy. So that is my hope for my hopefulness. Thank you for sharing hopefulness.
Thank you, Kyoko. I'm glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Pearl.
Okay, I was gonna go on what Tariq said, because he said something about he had to go to a hospital visit and that he'll soon be done with his visits. And it kind of gave me a little relief and hope because I have some upcoming appointments and tests coming up this month. And he says that he'll soon be done with it. And then I said, well, when mine come, I'll soon be done with mine too.
Hopeful. Wow, this is a hopeful class. I love it. Thank you, Pearl. Thank you, Tariq.
Thank you.
All right. Latashka, how do you feel?
I'm still feeling optimistic, hopeful for my brand new network. So I have been out just building a network before my books are released.
I see you showing up more. I'm proud of you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Shantae, how do you feel? Did somebody say something to spark something in
I
you?
put, yeah. When Michaela said that someone, a young boy, had said that he was gonna rip in her butt, that made me feel a certain kind of way just with the way the world is. But outside of that, I wrote that down, and then optimistic and also feeling hopeful.
Thank
Was
you.
I on mute? Oh, did you guys hear me?
We heard you perfectly. Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Marcia. Did you already share, Marcia? And that's okay if you're driving, Marcia. It's okay. I'll come back to you. Type it in the chat. Perfect. And I'll just read what you write. Emil?
Okay, so I said free. I forgot who said free, but whoever said free, thank you for saying that because that's exactly what I felt after I wrote everything down. Not just being hopeful, but to be free of all of the situations and no matter what happens, no matter what I went through, I don't have to own that. And especially if it didn't come from me or if I didn't create the problems. So I just detached and felt free of everything that I went through, and it was like a cleansing. So free was like the perfect word for me.
That was a beautiful word. Free, liberated,
Yes.
lighter. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right, raise your hand. Use the raised hand feature if you have not shared how someone else's words impacted you. This is so important because we use words all the time. And some words are very, very powerful. Michaela, what the young man said to you, those words are very powerful. The rest of us are going to be thinking about that like next week because that was very serious. And it's the same thing for powerful words that are uplifting. When you say them enough, people remember and it rings in your ear, right? Lakeisha was sharing before everybody came in. We were talking about, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And I said, what's going on? And she was like, well, I'm not going to complain because even if I did, my grandfather used to say, ain't nobody going to listen to you anyway. And I was like, whoa. I was like, do you remember how he said it? And she goes, yeah, I can't imitate how he said it, but I hear it in my mind all the time. We have to be careful. We have to be aware of this because we are authors, we're writers, we're poets, we're creatives, we're powerful. Our words are powerful. Some of us are teachers. Raise your hand if you're a teacher or if you've ever been a teacher, right? You are so powerful. The words that you say every day, they're landing. The words that come out of your mouth, they're landing on people. And so this is important for you to do every day for yourself, but also for the people that you serve. We have to be very careful. Okay, Sarah.
So this is Sarah from Kansas. It was Tiffany, I believe it was Tiffany Easley that said light. That really resonated with me. Because it's like the brain dump was lifting like all sorts of weights off of us. And throughout the week, we get all these feelings and pressures. But when she said light, it reminded me of being like a feather and just being able to go where you want to go and let whatever that force is guide us to where we want to be. So I thank her for saying that.
Thank you, Sarah. Dolores.
Yes, I wanted to touch on what Sarah said about optimistic. That goes way back for me. That means a lot to me. I don't know, most of you guys look like you're a lot younger than I am, but if you've heard of the sounds of blackness, that has gotten me through a lot of situations in my life. So I feel optimistic, like Sarah said, because I can do anything I put my mind to. I feel that way because of a positive outlook will always bring a positive reaction or outcome, even if things don't turn out just as you hoped for. Believing and looking at the brighter side of things makes one's spirit feels good, and it washes away the negative feelings. If you believe, I've always told my children, if you believe, you can achieve. So optimistic, that really resonated with me.
Thank you, Dolores. Hearts up.
You're welcome.
All right, Tariq.
Sorry about that. So, I want to say shout out to Kyoko. Still I teach, just that right there. And so every time I see it, sometimes it's not just the words, but it's the conviction or lack thereof that you say it with that makes all the difference. Still I teach. Still I teach. And sometimes you might have to check your motives because sometimes motives make all the difference between action or inaction. So I appreciate Kyoko in that. That's a reminder. So because I support her movement, that's helping me to also add conviction to mine.
Thank you, Tariq. Hearts up. All right, we're going to do a quick stand-up activity. So I want you to stand up, get the blood pumping. Woo-wee, stretch it out. Stretch it out. All right, so now you're going to take that paper that you wrote on, all the negativity, and you're going to literally shred it up. And I'm sorry if you put something on the back of it, that's okay. Shred it up and go throw it in the trash. Yes. Wherever you do brain dump, shred it, throw it in it. I mean, shred it into small pieces, put it in the trash. If we had a bonfire, we would be bonfiring these things. And this is symbolic. Yep, good job, Kyoko. Kyoko's like, look at her. She's like, look at her. Kyoko's like, rip it up and do a karate chop. This is how you take your power back. Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like you just took your power back. Drop a 1. This is how you take your power back. Okay, Pearl said 1. She's got her power back. Look at Kyoko's like, yeah, karate chop. Yes, Kyoko said, wah. This is how you take your power back. Michaela, yes. Put a 1 in the chat if you just took your power back. This is how you do it. You write it down, you rip it up, you throw it in the trash, you let it go. You let it go. I get so frustrated when people tell me, relax, let it go, but they don't tell you how. There is a process. You're welcome, Tiffany. Thank you for thanking me. I appreciate that. I love the feedback. There is a process to letting things go and to processing your emotions and releasing and being open and available to other people. Okay? If you brought a cup, hold up your cup. Let's do a cheers. To your new life with your new emotions. Yep, I love that in the chat, Ty. That's awesome. Always bring your cup because you're a servant leader and you're always pouring into other people. And so I love to serve you because I pour into myself all the time. So when I get to pour into other people, it's a great opportunity for me to do what I'm supposed to be doing here. And so it's an honor to get feedback and to see the relaxation on your face after that brain dump. I'm like, ooh, I helped somebody today. That lights me up. You do the same thing for many other people. So when you come into this space, have the expectation that when you leave, your cup is going to be full so that you can go pour out onto other people. Yep. And Kyoko's like, there's my book. Get that book. Click that link. Get Kyoko's book. I love it. Marketing genius over there. Yes, grab Kyoko's book if you haven't had the opportunity. And if there's someone in this room that you feel like you want to connect with, send them in the chat your email, send them your phone number. If you're in the same state, city, or whatever, connect. Connect. This is how we keep positivity going. This is how we keep all of the creativity and the energy, keep it going beyond here. Okay. All right. I have like 4 more writing prompts for you. But before we do the writing prompts, I'm going to have you take some notes. I do want to do a quick 5-minute training because there's things that have been coming up this week in the author community, in the publishing industry. And so I want to keep you guys abreast of the things that are happening. So one of the things that I've been teaching on is words are powerful. You already know this. Words are powerful. I want you to take some words out of your vocabulary. I want to replace these words with other words. So for example, my initials are LMJ. right? So one of the words I want you to take out of your vocabulary, and you can write this down, is little. Stop using the word little. Are you still doing that little side hustle? Oh, I shared your little flyer. It sounds harmless and innocent, but it puts you in a box and it makes you really small. So just write the word little, put a circle around it and cross it out. Like a no whatever sign, no little sign. We don't say that anymore because it keeps you small. Okay, so that's the L. The other word, yep, exactly. It's the basis of a backhanded compliment. Yep, thank you. Thank you, Tariq. It can come across even if you didn't mean it that way. Are you still doing that little side hustle? You may not have meant anything by it, but that person receives it as, whoa, it's not a little side hustle. This is my livelihood. But because a lot of people aren't entrepreneurs, they don't know. They don't know what they're saying. So it's your job now to educate people and let them know, oh, wait a minute. We don't say little around here. We're not little. And we don't even say small business. I'm not a small business owner. I'm a huge business owner with a big vision that's global. You just don't know it yet. You don't know what's stirring up inside of me. So don't allow people to minimize you. So little, cancel that out. I will also want you to write down the word maybe, put a circle around it, cross it out. No more maybe baby. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. Well, no, we ain't doing that around here. There's no maybe, either you're pregnant or you're not. I'm not. You know, it's either I'm pregnant or I'm not, right? You might be pregnant with your book idea, right? But there's no maybe. So stop saying maybe, take a stand, put your feet on the ground, plant them down, 10 toes down. Like, be solid in your decisions. Don't waver, don't double dutch. No, don't do that. Okay, and maybe is another way of saying, oh, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. It's a real nice, polite way of saying, I'm just going to procrastinate and not tell you no right now. The answer is probably going to be no, but I'll say maybe just to delay it. Don't delay it. Just say no. Just say no. And don't feel anything about it. It's just a word, right? Ooh, and I gotta get my belt and hit myself because the last one is J-U-S-T, just. I say it all the time and I'm like, ooh, no. That's another word that minimizes yourself. Oh, I'm just a teacher. Oh, I'm just a parent. Oh, I'm just the grandmother here. Oh, I just work here. You've heard people say that. Oh, I don't know anything. I just work here. You're trying to excuse yourself? No. Don't use just. There's really honestly no reason for it. It doesn't add any value to your writing. It's just like the word very. Very doesn't add anything to your writing. You can say tremendously. Okay, but she was very, 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 very angry. So she was furious. She was livid. She was on fire. Right. You know how to use words, so use them and teach other people how to speak around you because the tongue, life or death is in the tongue. That's in James in the Bible. There's a reason why. All right. So stop using little, stop using maybe, stop using just, stop using very. Okay, get more sophisticated and more creative with your language because whatever you write is what happens. What you write is what happens. When I went to college, I told my mom, and I wrote this in my diary, I'm going to college and I'm going to come back with a degree and a husband. And I went to California. I left California, went to Louisiana, and I came home with a degree and a husband. Now, I didn't pick the right husband, but I damn sure picked the right degree. Thank God I got it halfway right. I no longer have that husband, but I have a degree. I've got 4 degrees now, and I'm using the hell out of those degrees: history, criminal justice, education, and teaching. Those are my 4 degrees, and I'm using all of them. And psychology should have been a major because that was another one of my favorites. So it's all being put to use, right? So don't use those words. Try your best to catch yourself. So for the rest of tonight, I'm going to give you more writing prompts, and I want you to see how many times you use those baby words. They disempower you. They take power away. Okay. Another one is but. Instead of but, I want you to use and. I was a dancer, but I never performed during the halftime show. Like, I was a dancer and I chose not to perform. Okay. Here's another tip for writing. When you are writing, don't use they. We don't know who they are. Unless you've already introduced the character, and now you're saying they, and that's fine. But when you're even talking in your conversation, you know what they say. No, we don't know what they say because we don't know who they are. So give us the name, because it allows people to escape responsibility when we don't know who they are. It's very passive. Okay, be active in your communication. Oh, it fell on the floor. No, she knocked it on the floor. It fell. You can't, that's another one. What is it? These are all really slick ways for people to dodge responsibility. The bill wasn't paid on time. The phone got shut off. No, I chose not to pay the phone bill, and that's why the phone got shut off. But you'll hear disempowered people will use disempowered language, and they will excuse themselves from responsibility by speaking in a very passive way. And passive aggressive people are very passive in their language. And so be careful and listen. And when you're writing, use empowering words. Okay? Yeah, kids definitely are good at dodging. Woo. It was already like that when I came in the door. No, it wasn't. I mean, just come on. Okay, so here's your next writing prompt. Now that you know what words not to use, you're going to practice replacing these words with better words. Okay? Okay, so now you are going to describe in very good detail what your next event is going to look like. So whatever kind of event you're going to do, it could be a meeting with one person. Okay, it could be a book signing, it could be a book launch. What's the difference? The book signing is you're literally in a bookstore signing. Okay, a launch could be like this on Zoom. The signing is you're sitting in front of people, you're signing and you're giving them their books. Okay, so describe what your next event looks like. I'm going to give you 7 minutes, and I want you to do your best. Here's another word I don't want you to use. Don't use try. I want you to either do or don't. Okay, so describe your next event. And if you don't have an event, make one up, because it will happen. If you want it to happen, let's describe it and share it. and let's watch it happen. Okay? Questions before I start the 7 minutes. Okay, on your mark, you set, go. 7 minutes starts now. Good job. You have 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. You have 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Keep going. You have 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Keep going. Okay, we have 1 minute and 40 seconds. Go ahead and finish strong. You have 30 seconds. Keep going all the way to the finish. You have 5 seconds. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Hold up your paper. Let's see it. How much do you have? Ooh, 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 with the pen, with the paper. Let me see it. Hey, 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 hey. There's something that happens. There's a mind-body connection that happens when you put the pen to the paper. So, Tiffany, did you do your brain dump with the pen and the paper? Okay, so tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, you do your brain dump, get the pen to the paper because it does something to your mind, your body, and your soul. It forms a connection that you can't duplicate it when you're using a device. There's just something that's magical about the physical working out on paper. Like it's like you're building a muscle. This is why when people used to write the Bible, they used to copy the Bible by hand. And that was a spiritual experience because you are one with your creator. It's that serious. You know, I'm not just being dramatic. Well, I am being dramatic to get my point across, but it works, whatever works. But there's something, and do an experiment on yourself. Sit down for 20 minutes and do a brain dump and do some, activities, and then switch it up and do it on the computer and see, just observe how you feel. Because you're literally releasing, you're getting this stuff out. It's getting off of you. It's out. And you're present. There's no distractions. When it's just you and the paper and the pen, no distractions. And I love how Sarah has her headset on. Keep that headset. Keep that headset. Even when you're at work and it's a 10-minute break, keep that headset. That's a barrier between you and other people. The teenagers know how to do it. When they want to ignore us, they put their headset on and they act like they ain't even listening to nothing. Go up to them and go like this. They're not even listening. You know what they're doing? They're drowning you the hell out. That's what they're doing. They're not listening to anything. And they can hear what you're saying. They're listening to your conversation. And you think they're minding their business. No. It's a barrier between you and other people. It's a way for you to protect your boundaries and protect your space, your mental space, without you even having to say anything. And you can smile and wave at people while you have your headset on. You stay over there. I'm over here. Until you protect yourself. With love. In love. All right. Here's some more notes, and I am going to ask a couple of people to share their events. Because really, literally, if you've been dreaming about doing an event, you've been thinking about it, it's been in there, and you literally wrote it on paper, and when you share it and you speak it out loud, it's going to happen. It has no choice but to happen. And because we've got 12 people in this room, we've got 12 events to attend. We've got 12 stages to speak on. We've got 12 different places to go and network and drop our book links so people can buy them. This is how it's done. This is, yeah, look at Kyoko. She's like, buy my book, buy my book. Somebody coached her well. No, Kyoko's already a marketer. When she came to the door, she was a marketer and a saleswoman. Yes. This is how we do it. We build community, we have events, we host events, we show up for each other, we show up and we serve people. And it's all good. Okay, so raise your hand if you use the reactions to raise your hand if you want to talk about your event. I'm going to do a little bit of teaching, and then I'm going to ask for you to read and describe your event because we want to hear about it. Okay. So before we get into the events, I want to share this with you because I shared this in another author community today, and they were blown away. They were like, whoa, whoa. And the host was like, she's like, you have a bunch of comments right now. And I couldn't see the comments because I was talking. She's like, the people are lighting up the comments. What are you saying? And I was like, I'm just dropping knowledge. I'm just dropping knowledge. So when you are living your life as an author, you need to think about the author identity. This is something that I've learned over the past 7 years. Yeah, you want to write that down. The author identity, because you literally turn into someone different that you can't even recognize. When you step out, you're like, whoa, I'm no longer the same person. And the reason why people have told you, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. Raise your hand if you've ever heard someone tell you, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. I couldn't understand why people kept telling me, you need to write a book. Here's why. You have an identity about you that other people have seen. They've been looking at it for years. You're like a beauty queen that's on stage. You know the beauty queens that are on stage and they look beautiful and stunning and they wear these gowns and then they go home and they look in the mirror and they don't see the beauty queen. Everyone else sees the beauty queen. And we look in the mirror, we don't see the beauty queen. We see whatever we see without the makeup. And so I want you to start looking in the mirror and I want you to see the author that you are. And so how do you do that? You start speaking to yourself, like Tiffany said, those affirmations, those I am beautiful, I am successful, I am awesome, I am sexy, I am. Practice, they should just roll out, roll out, roll out. The more you practice, the more you will become those things. And so I started with the affirmations 5 or 6 years ago. And I was writing them down and copying them 50 times because my self-esteem was so low. I didn't see what other people saw for a long time. So I had to copy 50 times every day. I am beautiful. I am smart. I'm ambitious. I had to copy them because I didn't believe it. Other people saw it, other people believed it, but I didn't believe it. And so your identity is wrapped up in the words that you use about yourself. That's why you can't say small or maybe or just or try or can't. You have to check yourself. Or but. You really have to check yourself. You really have to be careful because your identity is wrapped up in what you say about yourself and the way you carry yourself. So you got to watch your language. The author identity is all about language. That's the first part of it. It's all about language. I used to wake up and be like, damn, I don't want to go to this job. damn, I don't get paid enough to be dealing with these badass kids. I used to say that all the time. And guess what? It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. When I showed up, they were bad as hell. And I was check to check, never had enough money. And that's what I was telling myself. They don't pay me enough. Just saying what we say in the teacher's lounge. And most of that stuff is true. But just because it's true doesn't mean that you have to embody it. There's a lot of things that are true. You don't have to embody everything. So what I started telling myself, and I started writing this on paper, I started saying, I'm going to work today. It's Monday morning. I'm going to work and I'm going to stand in front of these young people and I'm going to educate and inspire and I'm going to train the future leaders of America. And I'm going to teach and inspire the future leaders of the whole freaking world. These people that are in front of me, they are going to be leaders of the whole world. They're going to solve problems that I don't have the solution to. They're going to do better than we're doing. They're going to change this whole game. And so once I started saying that to myself out loud, then I would go to work like this. With my Wonder Woman pose, and I would sit in the car and say that before I went into the classroom. And that shifted everything. And so if you're going into a workplace and you're so disempowered, start reframing that and count down the days like us teachers do. We got that calendar. It's 185 school days. And when it gets to 100 days, we're like, yee! So do that. Put yourself on a countdown. Get yourself off that job. Give yourself 2 years, 24 months. Count out the days. Every day, mark off a day. You'll be going to work like, yeah. I only have 99 days left. And y'all paying my bills. So keep on acting like that if you want to. You're paying my bills and I only have 99 days left. Do that. It's all about shift. So your language, your posturing, your positioning, and your investing. Where are you investing your time, your energy, and your money? Wherever you're investing those things, that's what's driving you. Are you investing in other things that aren't giving you a return? Are you investing in other people that aren't investing in you? Are you emptying your cup and feeling depleted and not feeling like that person's, you know, that entity, that organization, that person, that child, right? You got to back up. You got to back up off of people and let people replenish themselves. So that's the perfect segue to the break. So we're going to do a 5-minute break and we're going to come back and I want to hear about these events. And you know what? That we got to stop the recording because we're done with the whole teaching part. So thank you guys. For those of you that are watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Make sure that you comment. Make sure that you subscribe. If you're on YouTube, click the subscribe, click the notification, do all of that really cool stuff. If you're on Facebook, please write a little testimonial, a big testimonial. See how I caught myself? Write a big testimonial with huge words and let us know that you enjoyed this time with us. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the next writing clinic. Everybody say bye to the audience. We got a live studio audience.
Bye, audience.